Good morning. In the previous video, we have learnt about elements, structure of an atom, atomic number, atomic mass, and electronic configuration. Today, we will learn all about valency of elements, atomicity, what's a compound, writing chemical formula of different compounds using crisscross method. Now let's learn about valency. This is structure of an atom. The central part is nucleus with protons and neutrons, and the negatively charged electrons orbit around the nucleus in different shells. Okay. Now the last shell of an atom is known as its valence shell or ultimate shell. The shell just before the ultimate shell is termed as penultimate shell. The shell before the penultimate shell is termed as anti-penultimate shell. Okay, now let's see what are valence electrons. The electrons present in the outermost orbit of an atom is called valence electrons. The rest are core electrons. That is, the electrons other than valence electrons in an atom are called core electrons. Now, what is valency? In simple words, we can say valency is the combining capacity of an element. But how can we define it? Valency can be defined as the number of electrons that are lost or gained or shared to acquire the stable configuration of the nearest noble gas element, that is octet configuration. Now, what is octet rule? Octet rule refers to the tendency of atoms to prefer to have 8 electrons in the valence shell. When atoms have fewer than 8 electrons, they tend to react and form more stable compounds. Now, you are clear with what is valence shell and valence electrons. The outermost shell of an atom is called as valence shell, and the electrons present in the valence shell is called valence electrons. Now, what is zero valency? Zero valency means zero free electrons in the valence orbit. It means the valence orbit has octet configuration. The elements of group 18, the noble gases, have fully filled valence orbit, thus they have zero valency. Now look at the table of group 18 elements, that is noble gases: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. They are zero valent elements. Now look at the first diagram, that is helium. Helium has 2 electrons in K shell. K shell can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons. So, helium attains stable configuration, that is duplex configuration. Other than helium, the other noble gases neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon attain octet configuration. Is it clear with the diagrams? In the previous video, part 1, we have learned modern periodic table and the arrangement of elements in it. Now, let's learn how to find out valency of elements in different groups. Hydrogen, the first element, has 1 electron and the valency is 1. Now, the first group elements given in red color: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Now look at the table below. We have considered lithium, sodium and potassium with their atomic number 3, 11 and 19. The electronic configuration of these elements: lithium 2 and 1, sodium 2, 8 and 1, potassium 2, 8, 8 and 1. These elements have valence electron 1. So they have the tendency to lose this electron to attain octet configuration. Hence, its valence is 1. In the same way, group 2, beryllium, magnesium, calcium have 2 valence electrons. So, they are ready to lose 2 electrons to attain octet configuration. Hence, its valence is 2. Let's move on to group 13. In group 13, boron and aluminium have 3 valence electrons. Hence, their valence is 3. Now let's recall the valency of elements in group 1, 2 and 13. Group 1 elements have valency 1, group 2 elements have valency 2 and group 13 elements have valency 3. Now let's look at the second table. Non-metals 14, 15, 16 and 17. 14th group starts with carbon. Carbon has 4 valence electrons. To attain octet configuration, it has to share these 4 electrons. So 8 minus 4 is equal to 4. Hence, the valency is 4. So group 14 elements have valency 4. Is it clear? Now we move on to group 15. It starts with the element nitrogen. Nitrogen, its atomic number 7. Valence electrons of 5. So 8 minus 5 is equal to 3. Its valency is 3. Let's take a look at group 16, that is oxygen family. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons. So 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. Hence its valency is 2. Now let's discuss group 17, that is halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, has 7 valence electrons. To attain octet configuration, they are in need of 1 electron. So 8 minus 7 is equal to 1. So the elements of group 17 has the valency 1. Now in a nutshell, elements in group 1 have valency 1. Elements in group 2 have valency 2. Elements in group 13 have valency 3. But elements in group 14 have valency 4. Elements in group 15 have valency 3. And group 16 have valency 2. And group 17 have valency 1. Group 18 elements are 0 valent. So you can easily find out the valency of any element with this periodic table. You are clear with elements and their valencies. Now it will be easy for you to write chemical formula of any compound. Let's learn about variable valency. There are some elements which show different valencies in different compounds. If the element shows more than one valency in its compounds, then the element is said to exhibit variable valency. For example, iron combines with oxygen to form ferrous oxide as well as ferric oxide. In the formation of ferrous oxide, iron exhibits a valency of 2, whereas in ferric oxide, it has valency of 3. So, iron exhibits the valencies 2 and 3, ferrous and ferric. Yet another example of variable valency is copper. It exhibits valencies 1 and 2, cuprous and cupric. Now let's learn about atomicity of elements. Atomicity is the total number of atoms present in one molecule of an element, compound or a substance. Helium is monoatomic in nature. All the metals and noble gases are monoatomic. Now the elements such as hydrogen are diatomic in nature as they share one electron each and are chemically bonded together to form an hydrogen molecule. Elements such as oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, bromine, iodine are also diatomic in nature. Similarly, ozone is triatomic. Elements like phosphorus, arsenic and antimony are tetraatomic and sulfur is octatomic. In the previous slide, we have learnt about molecules of elements. Now let's look at the molecules of compounds. What is a compound? A chemical compound is a substance consisting of two or more different chemically bonded elements with a fixed ratio determining the composition. For example, here hydrogen and oxygen combine in the ratio 1:8 by weight to form a molecule of water. Now let's learn how to write a chemical formula. Elements are represented by the symbols while compounds are represented by chemical formula. To define chemical formula of a compound, it is symbolic representation of its composition. Chemical formula gives the exact number of atoms of the same or different elements present in a chemical substance. To write the chemical formula, the symbol of elements and the combining capacity of the elements are required. Rules to follow while writing a chemical formula are: the valencies or charges of ions must be balanced. In writing formula, the metal comes first, followed by the non-metal. Polyatomic ions like carbonate, bicarbonate, hydroxide, sulfate are to be written within brackets. What are polyatomic ions? Polyatomic ions are ions which consist of more than one atom. For example, nitrate ion NO3 contains one nitrogen atom and three oxygen atoms that are covalently bonded and therefore stay together as a single charged unit. Now let's learn the crisscross method to write chemical formula. First step is to identify the elements metal or non-metal. Second step is to write the symbol of the element. Third step is to write the respective valencies on the top right corner of each element. Fourth step is to cross over the valencies from top to the bottom. And the final step is to simplify the numbers and remove the ones. Now let's look at an example by learning how to write the chemical formula for sodium chloride. First step is to identify the elements. Here sodium is a metal and chlorine is a non-metal. Second step is to write the symbols for sodium and chlorine. Na for sodium and Cl for chlorine. Third step is to write the respective valencies on the top for each element. Here the valency of sodium is 1 and the valency of chlorine is also 1. Fourth step is to cross over the valencies from top to the bottom. Fifth step is to simplify the charges and remove the ones. Thus, we have the chemical formula of sodium chloride as NaCl. On the picture to your right explains how the compound of sodium chloride is formed. Sodium with atomic number 11 has one valence electron and chlorine with atomic number 17 has 7 valence electrons. So, to attain octet configuration, sodium donates one electron and chlorine accepts the one electron. Once the sodium atom donates one electron, it has 10 negatively charged electrons and 11 positively charged protons. So, now it has become positively charged cation, that is sodium ion, which is now denoted by +1 charge. Similarly, once chlorine accepts the one electron, it has 18 negatively charged electrons and 17 positively charged protons. So now it has become negatively charged anion, that is chloride ion, which is denoted by -1 charge. Now the oppositely charged ions attract each other to form electrovalent bond or ionic bond, which results in the formation of compound, that is sodium chloride NaCl. Now let's look at another example, calcium oxide. First step is to identify the elements. Here calcium is a metal and oxygen is a non-metal. Second step is to write the symbols for calcium, that is Ca, and oxygen, that is O. Third step is to write the respective valencies on top for each element. Here the valency of calcium is 2 and the valency of oxygen is also 2. Fourth step is to cross over the valencies from top to the bottom. Fifth step is to simplify the charges and remove the ones. Now we have a ratio of 2:2, which can be simplified as 1:1 and then remove the ones. Thus we have the chemical formula of calcium oxide as CaO. One last example with sodium carbonate. First step is to identify the metal and polyatomic ion. Here sodium is a metal, carbonate is a polyatomic ion. Second step is to write the symbols of sodium as Na and carbonate as CO3. Third step is to write the valencies on top of each element. Sodium has valency 1, carbonate has valency 2. Fourth step is to cross over the valencies from top to bottom. Fifth step is to simplify the charges and remove the ones. Here it is in the ratio 2:1. Hence it cannot be simplified. Thus the chemical formula for sodium carbonate is Na2CO3.